Welcome to this uh, seminar, and our seminar for today is titled "The Importance of Open Standards and Securing our Web Server." So before we start, I would like to introduce um, our team members that will be joining us to facilitate and share with us some interesting slides to enhance our understanding. And with me here we have our facilitators that will be sharing with us. Um, we have Ibrahim Garba from our Internet Society Nigeria chapter. We also have Allan, uh, Internet Society chapter from our other country. And we have Garba, which will be sharing with us on the overview of open standards, and why Allan will be sharing with us practical testing frame. And also, we also be having Barbara that will also be introducing to participants concerning what um, today's seminar is all about. And again, as we progress, if there's any questions, you can kindly make use of the hand icon on the platform to get engaged and to contribute to our discussion. And again, as we proceed, if there's any observation or suggestion, you can kindly drop messages in our chat box. So, without wasting most of our time, I would like to introduce to us the great player, um, Ibrahim Garba from Internet Society Nigeria chapter to share with us on overview of open standard. Um, Ibrahim Garba, are you with us? Could you please unmute your speaker so you can share with us on your presentation? Ibrahim Garba, are you with us? Ibrahim Garba, we are still expecting you to join us. We expect Ibrahim Garba to join us and to unmute his speaker. The objective of this training include improving the availability and security of your web servers, and also using open internet standards to engage in end users communication and connection. That is how to effectively adopt online platforms and web servers to engage end users and to make the internet more secure and accessible to everyone. And again, Allan will also be sharing with us on the the practical testing framework uh, for our web servers. And on this, is going to be sharing with us on the overview of web servers, how to improve standard of web servers, and the use of Internet Protocol version 6. And again, he's also going to engage us in some practical exercise to help us have a practical knowledge on how to make our web server more secure. All right. So, Ibrahim Galba, please, are you with us? Could you please unmute your speaker so we can have your presentation, please? Ibrahim Galba, we are still expecting you. All right, okay, no problem. I'm trying to unmute your speaker, but I think you have to unmute it yourself. All right. Okay, all right. I think your speaker is unmuted. Ibrahim Galba. All right. If you're with us, kindly signify by saying I, so we can progress without wasting more time. Ibrahim Galba, are you with us? Okay. Ibrahim, we can't hear you. Can you hear us? Okay, if you can hear us, can you just please give a voice? Can you please just make a sound so we can know you are with us? Ibrahim Garba, we are still expecting you, please. All right, okay.
Vice Barbara Kitten to take over the session.
All right, okay. As we expect Ibrahim Garba to join us, if the second presenter is online and ready, you can as well come up so we can have your presentation as we wait for Ibrahim Garba to join us. Our second presenter is Allan. Allan, are you with us? Okay, Ibrahim Garba, yeah, you are on. Could you please share with us your presentation? Ibrahim Garba, I think your speaker is having a kind of little defect. Okay, thanks very much. Okay. All right, okay.
Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Good afternoon. It's not favorable.
Right, okay. Barbara, please, are you with us? Barbara, please kindly unmute your speaker as we wait for Ibrahim Garba to join us. You can please share with us your thoughts as we await Ibrahim Garba to set up his slide and presentation.
You can go and pray. Just bring your book. I will join you people.
All right, okay. Barbara, please, are you with us? Kindly please unmute your speaker and speak with us as we await the presenters to set up their slide and as we await others to join us. So, Barbara, are you with us? Barbara, are you with us? Oh, okay. Okay, I think he's offline right now. Okay, Ibrahim, over, please. Okay, Allan. Okay, Allan. Okay, Allan is still online. Allan, could you please unmute your speaker? I mean, your PowerPoint slide is ready. You can please so we can wait for Ibrahim to set up his PowerPoint and his speaker. Okay, Barbara, good. Barbara, thanks for joining us. So, you can please share with us as we are with our other presenters to join us. Thank you very much. Barbara, are you with us? Kindly share with us a little introduction to the Internet Society so we have more understanding as we expect our other presenters to put up their slides so we can have a very firm and cordial interaction. Thanks very much, Barbara. The floor is yours.
Thank you, David.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Thank you, David. Oh.
Hello. For cloud, there are some technical issues. But hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. You can go ahead, please.
Okay. Oh, thank you very much. So I think I've missed some part of the session, so I don't know. Can you keep it what has happened?
All right, okay. You are to present on.
Hello?
Hello, we are with you. We are presenting on and the objective.
Slide.
So you can go ahead with your presentation. We are with you. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, I think I'm now sharing my screen with you people. So once again, I welcome you all to today's session on securing web servers using the open standards.
Recording
So
stopped.
open standard everywhere is a project by Internet Society intended to make people to be able to connect to the. Hello, are you with me, people?
We are with you. You can go ahead. We
Hello?
are with you. Hello, we are with you.
Okay. So okay, thank you. Using the open standards, the open standard everywhere is one of the projects launched by Internet Society just to see how the internet can be more accessible to people and how it can also be more secure. So I'll be saying a few things about securing websites using open standards and using open standard. So what you see on my screen now is the Internet Society community. So I think there's a link there that will lead us to some of the vision and mission of Internet Society, what they are doing basically. What Internet Society is doing is Internet Society is basically trying to make the internet more accessible to everyone. I think that's their vision. So, and when we talk about the internet, I think it encompasses a lot of things. Like a lot of things come to make up the internet. So you can follow that link and then find out about the mission of the Internet Society. So the training objective now, what I'll be talking about today will be about how to improve the availability and security of your web servers using the open internet standard. So two things, we're trying to see how we can help us understand how our websites and our web server can be available and more secure for people. So now the Open Standard Everywhere project, just like I said is one of the projects launched by the Internet Society. I think it's part of their 2020 action plan. So now open standards. What are open standards really? So open standards are a fundamental building block of an open internet. So I like to say that the internet is a massive network of computers communicating to each other. And for their communication to happen, or for them to be able to talk to each other or share data or exchange data, there have to be some kind of rules, standard, and protocols that all the computers in that network understand. So they work with that protocols. So all those protocols are what we generally regard as the standards of protocol. So open standards make the internet more open. Yes. So I think on the next slide now, I'll give you an example of some of some standards. I think the first one on my slide here is IP. Simply means internet protocol. It's one major standard that is used for the internet. The second one is UDP, Transmission Control Protocol, UDP, User Datagram Protocol. I think we also have HTTP, HTTPS. So I think HTTPS is Hypertext Transfer Protocol. It allows you to transfer. I think this is the protocol that allows you to view web pages on the internet. So
Sorry for the little breach in communication. Alan, please, if you're online, could you please set up your PowerPoint slide so we can continue with your presentation? Alan, please, if you are with us, kindly put it on as we are with Garba to continue his presentation. If you are with us, kindly put on your PowerPoint slides for sharing. Thank you. Alan, could you please unmute your speaker, please? Alan, could you please unmute your speaker for your screen sharing?
For the short break. So I'm happy to be back now with you people. So I was talking about the internet standard.
Sorry, could you please share your screen?
I think that's what I'm doing now.
Could you please
share
share
my
your
screen now?
Yes, thanks.
Oh, okay. 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 Happy to be back. So I was talking about the internet standard. So I was talking about the protocols and standards used for that the internet is built upon, the open standard. IP is one of them. TCP, UDP, HTTPS, and HTTP. This is hypertext transfer protocol. It's used for. This allows us to display web pages, and this is also SSH and TLS, SMTP. I think this SMTP is majorly used for sending emails, and there's another one, FTP, and then this Quick. I think this Quick is the latest version of HTTP. It's like HTTP3, it's NTP, SMPP, DNS, BGP, SMMP, WebRTC, and SIP. So these are standards. These are standards that have their different use in the internet.
Recording in progress.
Yeah, there are different use in terms of talking about the internet. So now, open standards now, what are they really? What are open standards really? So open standards are open to all to read and access. So what this means is that open standards are available for anybody to use and access. Example, the IP, the SSH, the HTTPS are all standards that can be used by anybody. They are always open. They are open. And secondly, these standards are open to all to create. Yes? So a person might decide to join a team to maybe create a standard that will be used for wireless communication, or that will be used for making the internet even more secure or better. So it is open for anybody to create. Another one is open and free to all to use. So all these standards are free. Anybody can use them. They are free. Like nobody needs to pay any money to be able to use IP, to be able to use HTTPS. They are free. They are free. You can get them. Even SSH. So this standard is also free. I think I've tried it once. I've worked it with before. So it's free. If you want them, you can just use them. So, and these 3 points listed here, I think helps us to understand, gives us an understanding of the benefit of open internet standards. Like I said, anybody can use it, anybody can access it, and anybody can maybe create it, maybe working with a team of people to create standards. So I think it happens all the time. People can just come together as a team, create new standard, maybe due to the fact that maybe existing standards are not good enough, or they have vulnerabilities. People can just work together and create new standard. And I also say these standards are open and free to use. So the next one is open architecture of interoperable and reusable building blocks based on open standards development processes, voluntarily adopted by a community, a user community. Okay, this one is Internet's way of networking, their critical property too. So I think the whole idea of the internet is that it's built to be a network that is open, that is accessible to anyone, anywhere in the world. So the architecture is open architecture that is interoperable and reusable, that is interoperable and reusable. So the building block is that the internet is built to be open. So, okay, now we want open standards to be everywhere. We want open standards to be everywhere, including your own website and services. Now, I think open standard has a lot of benefits. That's a lot of benefits. The thing is, like I said earlier, I said the internet, the original idea of the internet was to create something that can help us easily exchange or transfer information, something that is open. So now, for we to have something that is open, or for we to enjoy an open internet, we need open standards. Open standard has to be everywhere. And I think this is one of the things Internet Society is advocating for, one of the things they are trying to do. So now, open standard, open in the sense that it is based on agreed upon voluntary standards that anyone can use to connect with other systems. Yeah, I think I already talked about the idea of being open. It is based upon agreed, it is anyone can use them. Anyone can use them. I talked about access. I talked about anyone can maybe create them. Yes, anyone can create them. So now, the second thing I want to talk about is globally connected. The globally connected. If the internet is open, yes, and it's a way to connect people globally. Anybody from any part of the world can connect to anybody in maybe a different part of the world. So I'll quickly touch on internet standards that makes the internet globally, that makes the internet a global resource. IPv6, Internet Protocol version 6. I think it's a native connections for new network, especially mobile. I think like many years ago, what we used to have initially, or from the beginning of the internet, is IPv4, Internet Protocol version 4. So I think then the number of internet users has not really grown. I think we had fewer people using the internet by then. But as time went on, I think more people started using the internet. I think more people started coming to know the benefit of the internet. Now more people are even connected, and I think the number is increasing. So now IPv4 now can no longer could no longer accommodate the number of internet users. So IPv6 now was created. So for the growing number of internet users. So now HTTP2 now is just like hypertext transfer protocol 2. And I think what it does is it's different. The only I think the major difference it has from HTTP is that it's faster. I think it helps faster connection. Faster connection works better for low bandwidth and especially on mobile. And then for security and trustworthy. So these protocols here, DNSSEC and TLS 1.3, HSTS, and more are security protocols. These protocols make the internet to be secure. Like DNS now, domain name system security, domain name system security. I think it has the feature of it has the security feature of the domain name system. So I'll just quickly talk about how this DNSSEC works. Why it's different from traditional DNS. It is more secure. It is more secure. Like let's say if a person is using if a particular organization is adopting DNSSEC, I think they won't have the problem. They will not fall victim of being redirected to a different server which they did not intend to communicate to. Because sometimes when people try to make requests from a particular server, I think there are criminals and some other fraudulent people online that will redirect them to another different server. And then when they redirect them, they will be able to maybe get really sensitive data and information from these end users. And financial crime, cyber crime, and everything can be solved if we adopt DNSSEC. Yes, if many people just go on and say, okay, like I'll be doing DNSSEC, I want my domain name system to be more secure. So it will reduce a lot of things, a lot of bad things actually. So now TLS 1.3, I think this one is also a security protocol. It's more secure than the normal or the old version of TLS. It's more secure. So I think there are a few other protocols too, security protocols too. So now, open standards everywhere project goals. So their goals now, the goals of this project is to build and deploy reference servers. Show what a good site looks like. The thing is, I think Internet Society, I think they built their own reference sites, I think 4 sites. And later I'll be sharing with you the links to all those servers and maybe some other information you need to know. So build and deploy reference server. Now another aspect is document the work of the Internet Society. Explain how we configure the servers to people. And then the other one is lead by example. So now configure as many Internet Society sites as possible. So I think what the Internet Society is doing now, because they have like different, they have their websites. So now they want to adopt some of these standards on their website to make it more accessible and more secure. So that's why they built this. They built and deployed their reference servers. So I think later on I'll also be showing you this site and also be showing you maybe how well they have adopted these standards we are talking about. Okay, now the view I talked about the reference servers. So we have 4 reference servers here, and the links you see here are the links to the reference servers. I think 4 servers. One is Apache, and the other one is Apache with content delivery network. I'll be talking about that later. The second one is Nginx, and also Nginx with content delivery network. So now the idea now of this Apache with CDN now is simply just to make their website accessible globally, because that's what CDN does, content delivery network. That's what it does. I think one of the major purposes is to make your website, your servers, more accessible. I think it talks about accessibility like more than security. It's about having accessible websites. So now there's this documentation on GitHub that can help you learn how to get your hands dirty, how to have some practical experience on how to really maybe adopt these practices, this standard to your website and your server. So the link you find here will lead you to the documentation on GitHub. I think it's easy to follow. So you can just go there, check them out, see what they are doing, and I think contribution is also welcome to the. You can also make contribution. I'm not sure, but I think one should be able to make contributions to that project. Okay, now the Internet Society. Now, I talked about them deploying their reference server and also testing their website for all these internet standards we have talked about. So now, what you see on the screen now is the test frame for their website. So now, what we'll do now, we'll practice what we promote here. Yeah, Internet Society is promoting a more accessible internet, a more accessible website or server, and a more secure server too. So now, to practice what Internet Society is saying, so I think the reference server was built, and I'll show you how well they have adopted this standard we are talking about. So now, if you look very closely now, I think on this chart, I think on this image you see here, the first site is internetsociety.org. Yes. Now, I think on the second column you see IPv6. I think with a green color, it means, I think that's a yes now. That's a yes. Internetsociety.org adopts IPv6 protocols. It adopts IPv6 protocol. So to be able to communicate to their server, you can use IPv6 protocol. And also now, let's go to the second column now, DNSSEC. Now, I'm sure you agree with me that what you see there is a yes. So it also uses the DNSSEC protocol. I think the third one that
Ibrahim summarize.
Oh, okay. Now, like that. Now, the green represents the yes, the protocols they have adopted, while the other color pink shows the protocols that have not been adopted. So now, if you test, there are some. I think you can test your website on internet.nl to see how well your website is doing according to all these protocols we have talked about. You see your internet.nl score. If it is 100%, it means you are fine. You have adopted all the properties, protocols you have standard. You have done really well. But if it is less, it means you can just follow the documentation we talked about the other time and then see how you can improve your website to make it more accessible and secure. So now the test framework now, the internet.nl is just a website I think built by the Netherlands Internet Society chapter. I think they developed that platform just to see how just like a tool that people can use to know how well their website is doing in terms of the adoption of the open standards we talked about. So the first one, IPv6, DNSSEC, HTTPS, TLS, including TLS 1.3, HSTS, and more. You can test for all those standards using the Internet.nl score. Internet.nl 2. So I already talked about the people that developed it. Now, the second one I'll quickly talk about is the HTTP 2. It's also a tool too. It's also an online tool to check the server for certain protocols to see if you have adopted some of these protocols very well. So now the future now is what we are looking up to our expectations in maybe later time. is expanding web server documentation as standards evolve. That is HTTP3 website packaging. So now is that the documentation with the internet site tend to maybe expand it, make it more open so that other people can, organizations, system administrators, and other people in the community can have access to the documentation, use it to make their server and their website more secure and accessible. So now, making web server faster and more secure, I'll just quickly do a rundown on this one. So the OSC work has been focused on web servers. Yeah, it has been focused on web servers. Many web servers administrators might want to support the latest open standard and protocols, but they don't know how. They don't necessarily have the time to figure it out. Okay, there's no, I think the good news is that, yeah, the documentation is here and we'll continue to advocate until more and more people are aware of this. So website administrator may not be aware of the latest open standards or may not know how the standard would help improve security, speed, and availability. I think that is where we come. That's where we come in now. Like every member present in this session, that's what we come in. Like how we can talk to people, share the documentation with them, see how more people can adopt all these standards. So now recommendations now for web administrators. So, often very limited in what you can do. I think sometimes some server are self-hosted. Yeah, if your server is self-hosted, you can do a lot of things. You can just push buttons, you can make build tweaks, you can just adjust your server, you can adopt different protocols you want to adopt. But if it's your server is not self-hosted, maybe you can just communicate to the company who is hosting your server, tell them what standards and what protocols you want them to adopt for you, and I think they should be able to help you with that. So I think the very first thing anybody can do is just go to the internet.nl website and then test your site on it, see how well you are doing. I think if you are doing less than 50, you just need to just reach out to your server hosting company or whoever is hosting your website. Tell them you just want them to adopt some standards that are very important for you to make you more secure and more accessible, your site more secure and more accessible. So contact support team at hosting provider and request a standard. Now you can point them to OSC documentation. Yes, like I already talked about this. You can just meet your hosting provider and then connect them. So I think that's what I have for today, and thank you everybody. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Okay. Thanks very much, Ibrahim, for your interesting presentation. I'm highly grateful. Please, before we move to the second presenter, that's Allan. Okay. Is there anybody with question, observation, or suggestion? So you can please put it in the chat box so that we can find questions as we proceed to the next presentation. So Allan, the floor is yours. Allan, okay.
Okay. Thank you so much. Firstly, my name is Allan from ISOC Uganda, here in East Africa. My presentation is basically about securing web servers. In this presentation, we are going to look at a couple of things. Mainly, we are looking at, we have a slide, and the slide is the training objectives. We are looking at an overview of the web servers, how to improve the standard of the web servers, and then a couple of those protocols we are going to use. Then we shall, at the end of the presentation, we shall run a practical test, and the speaker before me had hinted on how to deliver such a practice. Well, a web server is a program that distributes web pages as they are requisitioned. It also accepts requests via HTTP, a network protocol created to distribute the web pages. Objectives of the web servers is ideally to store, process, and deliver web pages to the users, as requested whoever is using the web server. So the objective is to store, to process, and so on. Now, in the next slide, we have a couple of web servers examples, and they are highlighted. One of them is LIS. There's also the most prominent one is Lighted PD. And a couple of them, I just put a few of them here for us for the presentation. Then the next slide is about how to improve the standard of our web server. And this is actually important for us to look at. One is how to add the certificates, these protocol certificates to secure connection on the internet. They also prevent, for example, HTTPS prevents interceptions while content is on transit. When the content is on transfer, those interruptions that keep coming in are prevented by that protocol certificate. The other is, of course, use a secure web server to host your backup website. It is important that you always have a host to back up your website. Then lastly is always apply for application firewall. It is important to always apply for a firewall so that your website is protected. The next slide, can you please move the next one? Those are basically the protocols we are going to look at. IPv6. IPv6 is the latest version of the internet protocol addresses that every device needs to connect to the internet in order to make your website available to the widest number of people at the fastest possible speed. This version is ideally the most recommendable right now. It's the one we are using right now because of its speed to catch a bigger number. So your site needs to support both PV4 and also PV6, the latest version. Then also we want to look at content delivery networks and the CDNs. These provide one mechanism to easily add the latest version we're talking about, the PV6 support, to support your website. Many of these CDNs do not require that your original web server, I put in quotes, called an original server in CD terminologies. That is the CDN terminology. Then the other is many of these CDNs support PV6 by default. We are fortunate that they just support by default. So there's no further action you need to do once you have set up your account with a CDN. We are currently aware that the following CDNs enable the PV6 by default. We have a couple of them. Akamai, we have Fastly, Lamlight. We also have Cloudflare. A couple of them as listed. I will share this slide at the end of the presentation as we welcome questions. Can we have another one, please? The next slide. Yes, this is where we want to focus ourselves on the practical part of testing whether our servers are secure. And this is where I want to to draw attention to. After running a couple, we have two, like the outgoing presenter put it right, that we have internet.nl, a framework where we used to test. Well, when we test, we are looking at reachable modern addresses, domain names, whether they are signed in, secure connections, application security options. So those are what we test whenever we enter into our website. Whenever we enter our website inside, we are looking at mainly the four criteria. We are looking at, does it support the latest protocols? For example, IPv version 6, and also is the domain names signed in, like DNS, SES, also HTTPS. Are these connections secure? And also we have a couple of security options we are looking out for. Whenever after running this, after running the tests, there's always an explanation. I think we will run it after. But what I wanted to dwell ourselves on is the test report. After running in your website, it automatically directs you to a report. After giving you the results, it directs you to a report. And under the report is where I wanted to give my explanation. There's usually a score. They give you a score, could be 100%. Usually, okay, depending on the norms your website has. But they usually between if it is very good, can actually go up to 100%. And that means that for example, if we've entered in a website or an email or even a connection, it implies that the test norms is based on the internet standards, on the comply or explanation of the list, depending on, for example, if you're looking at internet.nl, it will give you a score. Usually when they give you 100%, it doesn't guarantee full security. Like 100% does not guarantee a secure website. Usually there are a couple of aspects that we look at to consider security of the website. But some of them, they're out of today's scope, and because of time constraint, we may not cover them. But it is of course recommendable once you have a test with a score of 100%. What usually after directing you to the report, usually explains whether the norms are being used, the website server norms are being used, whether the norms can be adjusted. It gives you that detail that the norms being used. It also identifies, can the norms being used be adjustable? Can they be adjusted? And also the security concern. How secure is the website? So these are a couple of the explanations we have. I wanted us to have an example. Please, Lovely, can you look at the first one? Let's look at the first one. No, hpt.nl, just click on it. The first one, first click on the first one, please. It directs us to a server. We hold on. As we wait to go into the browser. Wanted to do a sample. We could try out a couple of websites to see random websites to see whether to try to look at what I was explaining to see the practical part of it. Had you clicked? Let's hold on. They wanted to take us to a browser, and then we get in. Yes. Okay. We have this at first. We could test this just randomly. We have an education one. Please check. We're just trying out random websites, and we explain the results. Hold on. Okay, let's try internet. Oh, thank you. This is where my focus. I wanted to focus. Okay, let's try to try out a website domain name, any random one. We could do canpoly. Okay, yes. Canpoly.edu. Oh, thank you. Now you see they're trying to give us the instant results. They're checking whether it is the first one is modern address, the one I was talking about. Then also the one was the domain name. Then after that, and of course the connection, the secure connection, the application security options. Like I told you, after that test is done, they direct you to the results, and this is where our results we could look at the first one. You see the score is 34%. 34%. I told us that sometimes it goes to 100%, but still, like I said, 100% doesn't mean it is completely secure. Please first slightly up. I want to look at the score. I want to give more light on the score. Yes. More light on the score. You see, it's not reachable via modern internet address. So could be it's not very supportive of the version IPv version 6. Also the domain name not signed in. The example here is the DNSSSES. They're not signed in. Okay, we go to the explanation of the test report. Okay, yes. Now here we are getting a clear picture. I hope this is what I was talking about earlier. That usually we are looking at what norm is being used. What norm is internet.nl using, and a couple of literature is squared in. Depending on the respective websites you enter in, these results vary. Depending, like I told us, depending on the connectivity and so on. Also, the next one is, will the norm be adjusted? Will it be adjusted over time as the state of the art changes? It is also explained in here. These are the results. Actually, this is now the report in detail. What does the score relate to security? Here is the important part of it, or relation to security, that correlation of the results to security. Although many tested intern standards contribute to a higher security level of your website, mail service, or internet connection, 100% score does not mean that an online, an online service is fully secure. It is very important here. I would want to rebound it once more. 100% score does not mean that an online service is fully secure. That is key. There are a couple of more several aspects which are important for the security of the online services. But okay, yes, even for internet.nl, these are out of scope, and we couldn't discuss them here. But keep in mind that internet.nl is intended as a standards compliance test and not a security test. Here, please don't dwell too much on security test. We are looking at the standards. How does it comply with the latest standards, the latest protocols? It is what internet.nl really focuses on. Then we have the modern address. There are 3 reasons why ISPs should deploy this latest protocol. That is another link we could do. It has a fully document on that. And also we look at the adoption statistics. They're highlighted as Apnic measurements put across the Akamai also adoption, the Google statistics, and a couple of them. Further information is really covered on that. What I didn't put forth is you have actually three options. You can test your website, your email address, or even your connection compliances. So here we just looked at we just finished up with the website. Now maybe we could look at the email. Yes, Lovely enters his personal email for us to study in. Yes, like the previous one for the website, it also first takes you through the compliance via is the modern internet address compliant, the domain name signed in, authentication marks against the email, and also secure. Okay, we are looking at it now. The running of the connection is the last option until we are directed into our report. So you see, it takes a little more time, and here is where our focus is: secure mail server connection. And that's what we want to look at. Like I earlier told us that this mainly engages standards compliance and not security. There's always that reluctancy on whether when you test on internet.nl, we usually think the results are fully compliant with the security of the website. And this is not really possible. When you're talking about the security of the website and how to improve it, you report and contact your web host for the best steps after, of course, running through these tests and knowing how you're standing. So it is important that you don't always focus on the results in relationship to the security of the website. Here we are looking at standards mainly. The main goal, I mean, the main core issue is the standards compliance. We finished. We are done with the connection. Similar to what we have here, the email test is at the score is 71%. I hope we are looking at that shaded part. It is 71%. It is highly recommendable. Could you look at also the modern address? Well done. I think you can see your mail server can be reached by senders using modern addresses. For this email, you can use the modern addresses and still approach them, making it fully part of the modern internet. We could go to the next one, name servers. Please slope. Yes, then okay. You see, unlike the previous website we ran, the domain names were not signed in. But oh, too bad some or all of your email addresses and mail servers domains are not signed in. Okay, well, this is partially. It's not like the other one where entirely wasn't signed in. So briefly, that is the background we wanted to put ourselves to aware to know more. It's basically that. I don't know if time will allow us, but we'd have also tried out the connection, the test of the connection. Let me see. We're running out of time, but we'd have wanted to do the last test on connectivity. Like I told us, the three main aspects we're looking out for: connectivity, the modern addresses, and also the domain names. Are the domain names signed in? Do we have some time? Could we run also a test on connection?
Allan, please, I think we are running out of time, please. Could you please help us maximize that time, maybe next 2 minutes, please?
Okay, surely.
Okay.
Now, here, I think, yes, rightly, our focus here was on the recommendation, like we had put, because of time, we have not run the connectivity, the connection test, but it's more of the same. My focus was on explaining the results you get after running these tests. And like I told us, our main focus should be on the modern address, the domain names, and also how secure are the standards, the latest standards complied with. That is mainly what our focus was on. But as a wind up, our recommendation is, after running, it is important that you run this test, then you see how you're standing. You see how you're standing. After getting the results, then you can contact your web host for the best steps. Of course, when you have these results, you can contact your web host to proceed and also upgrade or better your web server. I think that's the presentation. I'll be sharing a couple of this presentation with us right now. Would welcome any questions coming through. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Allan, for an highly educative presentation. Please, is there anyone with questions or suggestions? Could you please indicate by clicking on the hand icon so we can easily have a collective and interactive discussion? So, if you have any question, you can just drop it on the chat box so we can call on you so we can have a progressive discussion. And before we call it a day, we know the time is fast spent, but then just to have a few short period for a question and answer so we can have a more collaborative discussion. All right. Is there anyone with question? Allan, based on your presentation, there's an interesting aspect that I found very educative concerning the aspect of securing the web server using a trusted and web hosting site, because I was once an ICT facilitator for web design and web development, and I discovered that each time I host the website, sometimes the web hosting site always request for SSL certificate as a separate packages, but then I just tend to overlook it. Maybe there's no need for that, but I think that's one thing I learned in today's in your presentation. I think there's a need for to secure the web pages and the content so that the online hackers cannot just go to the website and hack their account or start disrupting the content on the website. So thanks very much for your presentation. So then, is there anyone with questions? So we can just entertain 2 or 3 questions before we call it a day.
Yes. Thank you. I wanted. Yes, it is actually important that you notice that usually the web hosts never let you. They never let you attend the certificates. But the most important thing in preventing the intruders, the interceptions while your content is on transit, it is through those certificates. It's important to get the SSHL certificates to prevent the intruders, third party, from getting into your content during transfer or transit.
Okay. All right. Thanks very much for an highly educative presentation. Okay. Do we have anyone with question before we call it a day? And then I'll use this opportunity to thank everyone for your time and patience to see the presentation and discussion till the final end. And we have a few more time. Do we still have anybody with question? If there's no question, is there any contribution, suggestion that we can entertain just for the next few minutes? Is there anyone with questions, observations, suggestions? All right. In absence of no questions, I would like to appreciate all the presenters for an interesting presentation. And again, I would also like to thank all the participants who took their precious time out of no time to participate in this online seminar. So, in absence of no question, I would like to introduce to us Love Day to share with us. If there's any other further informations and discussion before we close the meeting for today. All right. Love Day, please, are you with us? Love Day, are you with us? If you are with us, please kindly put on your... Okay, all right. You're online.
Thank you very much. I don't have much to say because I am very noisy. Thank you for spending your time with us. We solely appreciate your audience. Thank you.
All right, okay. All right, thank you very much, everyone, for participating in online our seminar. So we're looking forward to more seminars, and again, if there's any need to join us, Internet Society, on how to make internet more accessible and free for everyone online. And we will be so interested, so happy to have more members to join various chapters throughout the African continent and also all over the world. So please do well to join us so that we can have a more broader understanding on how to use internet for a free and a secure connection with other. Okay, I think someone have a question. All right. Okay, I think someone is raising up his hand. Oh, please, could you please put on or mute your speaker so you can okay. Is anyone with a question? I think someone is trying to raise up his hand. Please, if you have any question, you can kindly put on your unmute your speaker so that we can hear you more audible. Okay. Is there anyone with question? I think someone is trying to raise up his hand. Mohan, sorry, do you have any question? Okay,
hello.
All right.
Hi.
All right, okay. Hi, nice to meet you.
Hi. I am Mohan from Hyderabad, India.
Okay.
I am the president of Internet Society India Hyderabad chapter.
Okay.
This workshop has been very good. I'm really impressed. It's very practical. Thank you very much for inviting for this presentation. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much for your contribution. And all right. Okay, thanks very much. So, do we have any other chapter members from other continents or other countries just to indicate of? Okay.
Yeah, we have lined up a workshop on UA, Universal Acceptance, on 18th.
Okay.
Yeah, 18th of June, and I have shared the invitation in the several groups yesterday. If I can get your mail ID, I will share with you, please.
All right. Okay. All
We
right. Okay. You
have
can
a,
share the link with us so we can have.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have your mail ID, your invitation mail. I will share it to
Okay.
that. Thank you.
All right. All right. Okay. Thank you, Mohan, for sharing with us your seminar. All right. So, do we have any other question from anyone before we call it a day?
Only, I don't know if this is the right forum. Some of the top domain names like like INT and then AI, I don't know how to register those names.
Oh, please, could you please recap? Mohan, could you please
Yeah.
recap your statement? Okay.
Yeah, some of the top domain names like AI and INT, how do I register them? I don't have a facility here in India.
Okay.
Is it possible to register a domain name with INT or AI?
Okay. I think Allan, please, could you please respond to the question asked by Mohan, please? Do you have anything to say to us that the? All right.
Okay, can I get the question, please?
The question is to register a domain name with some of the top domain names, TLDs, like INT or .int or .ai. How do we do that? How to register a domain name with .ai or .int?
Oh, okay. Well, I wasn't aware whether it is not possible in India. We need to study more of that. But I was thinking it is across. If it's not possible in India, then we'd look at what would be the core issue. I mean, the issue at stake. You know, after rectifying that, we can build it from there. I can't entirely give an oversight on that. But
are you able to do it at your place?
That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. I need.
Okay, I want to help out. I think you have to reach out to your regional internet registrars. They will be the ones to better explain to you. You can also join or ask some of these questions on the ISOC community within your chapter. They can direct you to your regional internet registrars, and you get to know much about it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank
you. Okay, thank you everyone for your contribution. Okay. Is there any other question or contribution before we call it a day? All right. Okay. In absence of no question, once again, my name is David Akinwamide from Internet Society Nigerian chapter, and we also have various presenters they presented earlier on. And on this note, we like to call it a day. And thank you all for contributing and making the seminar a success story. So thank you very much. Wish you all the very best. All right. Thank you.